Hi everyone, today I'm going to share with you all the products that I use in my hair care routine. And my hair has changed quite a lot over the past year, and I finally got to a point where I'm really happy with the products that I'm using and I'm happy with the colour of my hair. Where I kind of went through a bit of trial and error with at-home hair dyes, which I'm sure many of you can relate to when you dye your hair and it doesn't quite go the right colour. So first I'm going to mention the actual colour I use now, and it's the L'Oreal Casting Creme Gloss in Iced Truffle, number 513. And I really like the Casting Creme Gloss because I just find they work really well. The colour comes out, it's a very rich, deep, dark, cool brown. It's not warm. I don't like any sort of red brown going on my hair because my hair ends up looking like a browny red rather than a reddy brown. And you'll probably know what I mean if you've tried to dye your hair like any sort of red tone before and it's just gone a bit too much. I much prefer kind of, if you think like Megan Fox's hair, it's almost black, it's so dark. That's the kind of colour that I like to go. If you hear any noise in the background, it's my kitten. So yeah, I'm really happy with that colour now, and I just like the L'Oreal formula. One thing I found about the upkeep of brown hair when you're a natural blonde like me is it's just as difficult as when you're bleaching your roots. You still get roots. I actually think they look worse than a bleach blonde hair with dark roots, because I actually think that can look quite interesting sometimes. I think to an extent, once your roots grow out a little bit, it looks kind of a little bit grungy and cool, and I like that. But like dark brown hair with weird ashy blonde roots just look weird. It's not a good look. So I have to touch up my hair every 6 weeks, I'd say, which is kind of the same amount of time that a blonde would have to bleach your roots and get them redone. So the actual texture of my hair is very fine because I'm dyeing it a lot, and it is very long. It can tend to get dry. I have to use lots of kind of deep conditioning treatments and stuff, so I'm going to go into all that now. The shampoo and conditioner range I've mentioned before, is the L'Oreal Ever range from the L'Oreal Hair Expertise range, the sulfate free ones. At the moment I'm using Ever Pure, but I've actually used up and probably preferred the Ever Riche one, which is that colour. I much preferred the smell and the kind of, this is a more rich formula I think, but this is supposed to be for colour care, so I'm still trialling whether this actually protects the colour of my hair longer than this, because if this does then I'll carry on using this, but both are really good. And the fact that the shampoo is SLS free, my hair colour actually lasts a lot longer than it would if I used regular shampoo and conditioner. So the kind of deep conditioning treatments I like to use, I usually keep one in the shower that I just use in place of my regular conditioner. And I actually have the Everpure mask at the moment, which basically just feels like a thicker version of the conditioner. I don't actually feel that much difference in terms of making my hair feel softer, so I don't know how much difference the products actually are in comparison to each other, but I just picked that up because it was on the 3 for 2 when I picked up the shampoo and conditioner, so I'm using that at the moment. But meh, like it's just kind of so-so. I actually want to try the macadamia oil one that is really expensive. I think I just need to have one of those days where you're just feeling a splurge, you know, you have those days. So when one of those days comes, I will be ordering that, because that just sounds like it'd be the perfect, intensive, really nourishing mask, and I've heard people say it's like their holy grail hair mask and it's amazing. A DIY mask that I do maybe once a week maybe once a fortnight, is 1 part coconut oil and 1 part olive oil, and I'll mix the two together and I'll slowly work it from root to tip, and I find that is one of the best things that I can do for my hair. It just makes it feel so much softer, and I notice such a difference in how my hair looks after it's been styled the day after, because I'll sleep in the mask and then I'll shampoo it out in the morning. My hair just looks a lot less kind of frizzy, and it just really smooths down the cuticle. I wear my hair quite messy usually, and it can go either way. Like sometimes I end up looking like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards, but that's just like, I'm not very high maintenance with styling at all. So this kind of helps me along with just making my hair look really smooth and soft and silky. So before I style my hair, I'll always use a heat protectant, and I like the TRESemmé one, the smooth formula. I just find it's not sticky, I can't feel it in my hair, and that's something that is a bit of a deal breaker when it comes to hair products. I like to be able to touch my hair and change it around during the day if I want to, and I don't like anything that feels too crunchy, and this just feels really smooth, and I feel like it makes my hair a little bit softer. So on a daily basis, and what I've done today, is I will blow dry my hair with my head kind of upside down, and I'll just kind of run my fingers at the roots to try and get a bit more volume in it, because my hair is very fine, so it can go kind of limp if I blow dry it like a traditional blow dry. So I like to tilt my head upside down, and it also looks kind of a little bit messy and worn in, and that's just how I like it. And most of the hair tools that I use are from Babyliss Pro, which I think are so good for the money that you pay for them. They're really affordable considering how good they are and how they compare to like the really expensive things. So if you're not wanting to maybe invest loads of money in different hair tools, then definitely look at the Babyliss Pro range. So I use their Mega Turbo hairdryer, which is just a regular hairdryer. There's nothing like fancy and special about it, but it dries your hair and it's strong enough, it's got enough power to dry it pretty fast. And if I fancy something a bit different with my look, I might run a straightener over it, which just doesn't do loads, but it just makes my hair look a bit more polished. Like if I'm going somewhere and I want to look a bit more done up and like I've made a lot more of an effort, I'll go over it with my GHDs. I've had these for years now and they're still perfect. I've just talked about the Babyliss Pro range, but I have had these for 6 years or something, maybe a bit longer, and they're still working like good as new. So if you do like to wear your hair straight, I'd definitely recommend them. I think they're amazing. Also from Babyliss, I have one wand and one tong, and the wand I have is this one. I'll put the inch in a description box because I can't remember off the top of my head, but this creates a nice, not too loose but not too tight curl, a very pretty soft curl that you can brush out to a wave. That's the best way I can think to describe it. So it's a nice versatile tool to have because I can create like a curly look and then I can back comb it and make it really big, or I can just curl it and then sort of softly brush them through and they'll just go into like almost like a soft old Hollywood type wave. I don't know how, but it just comes out like that. So that, I really like that one, and all of them have like adjustable heat. So if you are really concerned about how much heat you use, you can use it on a lower heat, which I think is a really good thing to have. And the wand that I have is about 2 or 3 times the size, and this is just great for really quick and easy waves. I actually got this because so many girls on YouTube have it and the hair always looks really nice, and they just seem to have that like effortless wave down that just doesn't look like they've made a lot of effort, but they still look really pretty. That is what this kind of inch of barrel creates, and this is one of the ones with a Tong, so I find this really quick to use. You just wrap it around, and again it's got the adjustable heat, so if you want it to be a bit cooler, that's really good. So I just wanted to mention some extra bits, and my everyday hairbrush is my Tangleteezer. I could not live without this. Well, I could, but my hair definitely couldn't, because when you brush through wet hair with this, it goes through so smooth and so easily without really snagging and pulling loads of hairs out. And if you have fine hair like me, you want to keep as much hair as you can because you don't necessarily have loads of it. The one and only hairspray that I use is Elnett, and I think this is kind of like Marmite. Some people love it, some people hate it, mainly because of the smell, but they do make an unscented version of it now. I just love this because you can brush through it and you really can't feel it in your hair. It is it's the only hairspray I've used that you can't feel in your hair, and I hate crunchy hair, and I don't want my style to kind of drop and fall out, but I still don't want it to feel horrible. So Elnett is perfect, and it really does brush out. It disappears at the stroke of a brush, like it says on the tin. So Elnett is amazing. I've recently invested in the original Moroccan oil, and I can safely say that it is just as amazing as everyone says it is. I love putting this through the length and ends of my hair when it's damp just before I blow dry it, and I really think it helps smooth it out. Feels really soft, and it also makes my hair dry a lot faster. I've read that from other oils that I've used, but I don't really know how or why, but it does. It makes my hair dry faster, and that is amazing, and it's so worth the money. But if you want a more affordable alternative, I've also used the Avon one right till the very last little bit at the bottom. This is the Advanced Techniques 360 Nourishment Moroccan Argan Oil, and I think this is under £10, so this is a really good alternative, maybe if you don't want to invest in the Moroccan oil. And I think it's really nice. It's probably not as good for your hair in the long term, but it still feels really smooth and silky like the Moroccan oil does. So that is everything that I wanted to mention that I use in my haircare routine, and I have like extra bits of leave-in conditioners and things and stuff that you get free in magazines and stuff that I try, but those are my like absolute favourites and staples. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know what your haircare like holy grail items are. I'd love to know your recommendations. And my next video I'm excited to do is going to be like my all-time 2013 favourite. So instead of doing just a December favourites, I wanted to do something about all the products that I've loved throughout the year. So that's going to be really tricky to decide, but I'm looking forward to filming it. So I will see you in my next video, and thank you for watching.